Alright boys, I finally fucking did it. I thoroughly raped the Kalphite Queen and abused all of her holes and still didn't knock her up with a princess, but maybe another time. Now I was considering making the rest of this video episode 10, but instead I'm going to make the other half of this video about my strategy and explain the full mechanics of KQ up to the extent of my knowledge. Also, the full video is in the description, sped up, and all of the rules for the challenge, as always, are right below that, so hold your scrotums, get ready to see the truth behind the Kalphite Queenerino. Now my first strategy for this is I went on my alternate account and also I went into a PvP world to ensure that there would be nobody else trying to kill Kalphite Queen. And I had my alternate account drop ropes and also lead my other account through to prevent getting attacked by other Kalphites in there and having to use up anti-poisons. So I had them run through, drop 2 ropes, and that saved me 2 food. And in total it saved me around 6 food, which is an entire full health. So that helped out a lot. Now the strategy that I have for Kalphite Queen for the very first phase, which is, I like to call it the melee phase, I guess, because that's what I use melee during it. And I get in combat with the Kalphite Guardians. I can do this with a short bow and some bronze arrows, and I turn on long range. So what I do is I run south, or whatever direction it is, I think it might be actually west, to where the Kalphite Queen is usually at. Let her see me and start running for dear life back to the north. Make sure that she doesn't get caught around the middle portion of the cave or the hive or whatever, and she will come and follow you all the way around. Now, the 2 Kalphite Guardians, they both have aggressiveness. They can both be attacking you, and their range will go all the way to the south of the cave, both of them. But if you go all the way to the north of the cave and all the way to the west of the cave, one of the Kalphite Guardians won't be following you, and these are the best things to use to safe spot Kalphite Queen with, especially because you have to wait for the Kalphite workers to spawn to actually safe spot her with that. So you actually have to be in combat with the Kalphite Queen for a little bit in order for the Kalphite workers to actually come out. But these guys will never leave. They will never get out of combat with you unless you go out of their range. So, and you can use both of them in order to safe spot. The safe spot I use is I got her towards this little area, I guess, where I can trap her, and if you stand right on her head, she won't move forward, so she's completely trapped in the spot, and then all I have to do is wait for some Kalphite workers to spawn. Also, I use a short bow to get aggressiveness from the Kalphite workers if I want to use them as a safe spot, so that's basically the full extent of that. Now, if any of you don't know what flinching is basically with a bigger tiled creature, you can attack the creature, and as soon as you wait from a spot that they cannot attack you at, their HP bar will go away, and then you can continually attack them and run away from them or underneath them as I'm doing here, and they won't be able to attack you. Now, what I use for stat boosts is I've made combat potions, which is made with goat horn and I think it's Harrowlander. Those were used because I used jugs of wine as my food. I was able to use those as a substitute restore potion. And also, these brought me up to level 80 stats, where I was originally only at 70, so I was able to hit 20s. And if I did a special attack, I could probably hit over 40. So that was the reason why I brought this. And also, I brought anti-poisons because the Kalphite Guardians would be able to poison me if I fucked up and they actually hit me once. Even if they don't do any damage, they can still poison. Now, once I get towards the end of the melee phase, I wait until the Kalphite Queen is very low health, and I drop all of my empty jugs of wine and save all the ones that are full, and then I suicide at a very specific spot where I'm going to be using that spot to use magic and safe spot Kalphite Queen with, so I can pick up the food back there. So I die right there and I drop all of my jugs of wine, and then I will end up coming back with another inventory of jugs of wine and suiciding there again. This allowing me to have somewhere around 35 to 40 jugs of wine for the next phase, which is the magic phase. Then I gear up with all my magic, which is I bring a rune chain body for protection. Usually I bring a magic amulet, but I didn't have one in the bank at this time. I bring my teacher wand because I haven't gotten the master wand yet because it's more of a cash waste than I could be buying gear for Kalphite Queen. So I bring that, and I go kill Kalphite Queen. I have to go finish off the melee phase. So after I finish off the melee phase, then I have to go run, pick up some more food, and start getting ready to safe spot the next phase with Fire Blast. So I'm going to be showing that. Now this last 21 HP took me forever to kill Kalphite Queen for some reason. By the time I finally killed it, I went to go picked up some of my stuff and got into the safe spot. I had to worry about the Kalphite workers, not because they did massive amount of damage, but they did rack up damage eventually. But because I was wearing a Ring of Recoil, which is, I use that to stack damage with Kalphite Queen. So basically how magic works whenever you're killing Kalphite Queen is that if you splash, the Kalphite Queen won't attack back. But if I use a spell and it does damage, then she will attack back. So every time I do damage, I'm going to be doing extra damage with Ring of Recoil. Now every time one of these Kalphite workers does about 2 damage, that's going to waste 1 charge, and it's going to keep wasting charges, and then I'm not going to have that extra damage boost whenever I'm killing Kalphite Queen. Where with the Ring of Recoils, if I break both of them, that's 80 damage that could be dealt towards Kalphite Queen, so that's pretty detrimental, and I have like 500 of them in the bank, so I have plenty of them to waste. I'm not sure why the splashing doesn't like make her attack. If it did, then this solo would be really hard. I wouldn't say it'd be impossible, but I'd have to die with a lot more jugs of wine. So that's kind of good. I don't know if it's like that for all bosses, but for this one it is. And during my entire Kalphite Queen kill, I got pretty lucky and I also got unlucky. One of the unlucky parts was I splashed 25 times consecutively on Kalphite Queen. So that was after that I was like over halfway done with all my runes, and she was only halfway dead. I think I used 90 runes and I only had 60 left, so I didn't think I was actually going to be able to kill her. But I ended up beasting out a lot of hits, and I got pretty close to the end. And what ended up happening is the food that I had out on the ground, I panicked and didn't pick it up, and it disappeared on me. So I was left with the Kalphite Queen being at 7 HP, me being at 21 HP, and there's a timer on Kalphite Queen that she will go back to original form in 30 minutes. I was pretty close to it, so I decided just to go for it, and the Kalphite Queen, which usually hits 30s and stuff on me, hit exactly at 19, which just didn't kill me. I was super lucky about that, and also I was lucky that I didn't get killed by a Kalphite worker, because they could have killed me in 2 hits. So I ended up getting her down and got some blood runes and some sharks. The entire fight took me about an hour and 10 minutes, and I'm not sure when I'm going to be doing it again because it's finals week, and I don't know when I'm going to have episode 10 out. So you can probably just hit me up in game, and I'll probably give you guys a good ETA on when I'll be done with that. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and don't drop your dick in a blender. You just don't want to do that. Alright, bye.